Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Boruto anime review. This one's going to be for episode 137, which is called The Samurai Exchange Student. And yeah, this was a fun episode, not amazing, not bad, just kind of somewhere in the middle with that kind of fun aspect of, exploring samurai, a relatively unexplored aspect of Naruto. We got, we know Mifune, the introduction of the samurai in the Ninja War towards the end of Shippuden, but, for the most part, we never went particularly in depth on them here, and this episode doesn't really either, but at least it opens the door to, through Tsubaki being a member of one of the teams now, we have a samurai here, we'll get a different perspective, and it could be interesting going forward. She seems like an okay character, not one of the absolute main characters, but, we're probably over the course of the Boruto anime going to get a lot of episodes like this, and we could get to learn some stuff about the samurai. So, that's the main thing to say here. So, they make this pretty logical here in that they use the fact that it's in the manga and stuff like that. Sumire has to leave Team 15 because she's going to join the Scientific Ninja Tool Division. That leaves a spot open on Team 15 to join Wasabi and Namida. And that's where Naruto comes up with the idea to have this samurai exchange program to introduce the samurai and kind of shinobi intertwine a little bit more. And what better way to do that than to have a samurai kind of in training be a part of one of the ninja squads. So, it all logically fits together of Tsubaki taking Sumire's place, as like in the background some of the characters plan a goodbye party for Sumire. So there is actually some good stuff in this episode. It's definitely like on the better end of these more sort of fillery type episodes, so it was actually, enjoyable to watch. The depth that I think is lacking from this episode is just that they don't particularly go in depth in terms of the samurai perspective and stuff like that. There's one little flashback scene where we see Mifune. Beyond that, it's just Mifune thinks this is a good idea to send her here on the exchange program. Naruto also thinks it's a good idea. And her perspective seems to just from the start be that the samurai culture and perspective is better than the shinobi one. The thing they emphasize thematically throughout the episode is the idea of conviction. She thinks that samurai have much more conviction than the shinobi of the Leaf Village because of kind of just their attitude towards things, and that obviously the samurai are a little bit more sort of muted as characters. They're more serious, and she doesn't see necessarily that conviction from, the more fun-loving, the peaceful nature of the Leaf Village, but of course, that's where the argument comes in. It's primarily Wasabi and Tsubaki who are at odds with each other, with Namida just trying to kind of keep the team together. And the main thing that you get across here is just that, how does Tsubaki really form her opinion of the shinobi? It's not particularly well done, so it is just this sort of basic plot of her learning to see that her teammates and just the Leaf Village in general does have conviction, and that she will learn some new stuff here, going in thinking she already has it all learned from a samurai perspective. So, the plot of the episode is just that, okay, Hanabi introduces the team to each other, but she has to go off on her own mission to take out some criminals from the bingo book. The key point being that she shows them the picture of the people she's going to take out. And after the arguments earlier on in the episode, eventually we get to a situation where Wasabi and Namida are kind of alone together. Tsubaki's gone off, and they spot the criminals from the bingo book and go after them, on their own. Primarily because this is Wasabi sort of trying to, in a way, prove that she has that conviction. That's a large part of why she does it, to prove herself, that she can do it without the team, prove herself. And so they kind of do that. It ends up being 3 criminals they actually encounter. Wasabi ends up taking one of them out, but the main guy ends up being much stronger than they expected, and he ends up sort of kind of knocking Namida out, and Wasabi is all but defeated. And the key point is that she kind of gets back up and just shows that she has that conviction to protect Namida, who's unconscious, of course, even though it seems like it's against all odds. And this is obviously when Tsubaki arrives and sees this, and then she shows us her power for the first time, how skilled she is with the sword, including using her really powerful technique here, the kind of, what's it called, like snow cloak slash or something like that. Very cool kind of cyclone sword attack. When they emphasize the idea of kenjutsu, the idea of using the sword, is that the samurai pump all of their chakra into their sword, and that's what their whole technique is about. So, pretty cool that, this new character has that more powerful technique. She doesn't fit maybe exactly the role that Sumire had on the team, and that it feels like they're a little bit unbalanced now. Team 15, they don't have their leader, but they have a decent power level in that, like, if Namaida is able to more control her, like, kind of laser scream attack thing, they could be a kind of a powerhouse team in a way. But it's going to be fun to see them kind of as they go on. Like, at the very end of the episode, they obviously reveal that there is another side to Tsubaki's character, that she's not just super serious all the time. She kind of sneaks out, buys some fries, having refused Chocho's fries earlier on in the episode, and kind of eats them in secret and ends up really, really liking them. So she's coming to, appreciate more of the aspects of, the Leaf Village, shinobis, and it's probably going to be her character, that she acts very serious. She probably still will be somewhat dismissive of, like, samurai are better than, the idea just like, samurai are better than shinobi, but in secret she'll probably be much more excited about new stuff that happens. So that's going to be a kind of cool angle to approach, going forward. The other part of the episode is, of course, we do at the end get the party where everyone says goodbye to Sumire, and it's really nice, all the gifts, all the characters are there. They're all so, sad to see her go, and they want her to, like, visit and stuff like that. But it really highlights that, the first arc of Boruto as an anime was the sort of Sumire arc thing, revealing the truth about her. She was sort of always the class rep, but, it was after that, after the truth of her coming out, that actually the group bonded, like, even closer with her, and she became that sort of central figure, especially when they were, like, within the academy in those earlier episodes of Boruto. But she still has that respect from everyone going forward, and it's evidenced here by the fact that everyone turns up to wish her well on her new section of her journey. And it's just a nice moment of just, Sumire sort of passing the torch, you, Tsubaki, take my spot on the team and protect everyone. And it's just pretty nice set up, because obviously at this point we know in the new year we are finally getting into some manga content. We're covering the next section of the manga coming up soon. So a connection like this of actually showing Sumire go off needed to happen, because relatively early in the Boruto manga, we do actually get, Sumire, showing that she's part of the ninja division, scientific ninja tool division. So they're definitely building towards that stuff. Like, even if you weren't aware that, the announcement that the manga content is being covered, and this makes it sort of clear that they're moving towards it at the very least. So yeah, that's most of the episode. It was, fine. Like I said at the start, I as an episode to just fill in the gap before we get to the main content, this was actually pretty well done, is probably the best way to say it. Tsubaki has some potential as a character while still not being, like, massively in-depth. It's one of the teams that perhaps isn't as interesting as other ones, but, Hanabi's the leader of that team. There's always an interest there. And especially because, like, Namaida has such a unique kind of ability when she goes all out. This episode got their characters across that little bit more, of showing their development from the early episodes where we got to meet them to kind of where they are now. So, they're my thoughts on the episode. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts were. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.